Hey guys, Jodomreel's back with another Pokemon Loss and Pokemon Victory video, where I show off my fan-made concept for a Pokemon region based off of Wisconsin. Today I will be showing off more Fakemon, and yeah, I'm planning on doing another regional variants video in the future, so yeah, hope you guys are hyped for that. Let's get started. First up we have Craneearth, the ground and flying type. It is based off of the Sandhill Crane. And, yeah, Sandhill Cranes actually cover up their feathers with mud and dirt to camouflage better in the summer. Here, and Sandhill Cranes live in Wisconsin, because I see them all the time. And, but instead, I kind of took a different concept for this one. They don't use them to camouflage, but Craneearth, they pluck out the mud that generates on their feathers and uses them for attacks. Yeah, on to the next one. Next up we have Banshowel, a ghost and flying type. Okay, just for the record, this is one of those mons that is not based off of an extinct creature that's a ghost type. Okay, it's just ghost type because there's multiple inspirations. One, it's based off of the long-eared owl, which do live in Wisconsin. Two, it's based off of banshees and how owls have their loud screeches. I kind of combine that with the banshee screams. And the third inspiration is the Chicken Alley haunted stories. It's one of the haunted things in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is the most haunted state out of all of them. And yeah, they're said to be ghost chickens, phantom chickens that are sighted on that road. So I took that inspiration also. So yeah, that's what that is. Next up, we have my regional rodent, Hungrat, which evolves into Fatarat, which then evolves into Wharf Rodent. I love this line. I love the way that Wharf Rodent turned out. But anyway, the idea, it's based off of brown rats. Warfarin, which is the first rat poison, warfarin, the chemical, was not founded in Wisconsin, but the first rat poison, officially was made in Wisconsin, and it contained warfarin. So the idea behind the line, Hungrat, he's a hungry rat, that's starving. Which develops a habit to eat whatever he can find, like rats do. Fatarat, he still keeps the habit, even though now he's been living with a trainer and getting actually good food. So now he's getting really fat. And then when he evolves into Wharf Rodent, he accidentally eats some rat poison and ends up dead. But now he's trying to give away the rat poison to other people, to other Pokemon. And yeah, so it's kind of based off of like drug dealers. The name for Wharf Rodent comes from warfarin, which is the chemical, wharf rat, which do live in Wisconsin. It's a kind of rat, and rodent. I love the way that Wharf Rodent turned out, and I would use one on a team for like a Nuzlocke if this was a real game, just letting you know. I would try to catch a Hungrat and get this guy on my team. That'd be really cool. Next up, we have my regional fish, Statill and Museunge. Okay, these guys also have deep inspirations. Statill is based off of a bluegill, and Museunge is based off of a muskie, which is Wisconsin state fish. And bluegills also live here. But listen, they're also based off of the Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame, which is located in Wisconsin. And the giant building is shaped like a muskie, and there's a statue of a bluegill nearby. So, yeah. Anyway, the names. Statill comes from statue, because there's a statue of it. Bluegill and this kind of sounds similar to stand still, which is what statues do. Museunge is based because of the musculunge, which is a long name for a muskie, and museum. So Museunge. Yeah, pretty cool fish. And this one is not based on Wisconsin, but is a really cute Pokemon anyway. It's QB! Not based from Wisconsin, it's just shapes. and elements, because I wanted a Pokemon that evolves more than 3 separate evolutions, because Tyrogue was like the second place for having the most amount of evolutions, and it only evolves into 3 different things. So I made a new second place. QB can evolve into Tri-Ember, Triangle and Ember, Hexabolt, Hexagon and Bolt, and Thunderbolt, Roctagon, Rock and Octagon, Pentapuddle, Pentagon and Puddle, or Potrapezoid. Potrapezoid? No, Potrapezoid. From like potted plant and trapezoid. Yeah, he's pretty cute. And, oh, by the way, it's, like, he has to hold different items in certain weather. Tri-Ember, he has to hold a Firestone, while he has to level up while holding a Firestone in a harsh sunlight. Hexabolt, he needs to hold a Thunderstone, leveling up during a thunderstorm. Roctagon, he needs to hold a hard stone while leveling up in a sandstorm. Pentapuddle, he needs to hold a water stone while leveling up in rain. And Potrapezoid needs to hold a leaf stone while leveling up in grassy terrain. Next up, we have Acnerell. This is a acne frog, based off of the Pickerel frog, which is the only poisonous frog that lives natively in Wisconsin. And, yeah. It's good. And, yeah. That's what this guy's based off. Also, a random thing. The thumbs, the reason why the thumbs are humongous is because apparently the males, when, like, during mating season, they do get the thumbs bigger. And I decided, why don't we just give him all? And he's got a bunch of pimples. The name comes from acne and pickerel, which is the kind of frog. Next up, we have Bucket, Bootberry, and Cranberrils. Bucket, he's a bucket with he's a little cranberry with cranberry sauce covering his eyes, and he's got a bucket. Yeah. Then he evolves into Bootberry, which is kind of like a humanoid cranberry creature with cranberry sauce. And he's got boots, too. Nice green boots. And he's got a bucket for the hat now. Then he evolves into Cranberrils, where he's got actual overalls. And he's got the bucket. Still has a hat. Anyway, the reason why these guys are here is because Wisconsin is the leading producer in cranberries. Random thing, this is game exclusive to Pokemon Loss. Okay, moving on. Meet Chexit, Chow Wild, and Puppy Chowhog. Exclusive to Pokemon Victory. This is the sister line to the Cranberrils line. And, oh my god. Any non-Midwesterners, I don't think, would understand this, but Puppy Chow is amazing. Puppy Chow is super Midwestern, and Wisconsin's in the Midwest, so I had to include it. He starts off as a little piece of Chex Mix, then he turns into a skinny fighter, then the final evolution, he just hogs the Puppy Chow. That's kind of the gist of it. Next up is Elkstinct. This one is one of those ghost types that is based off of a dead creature. That's why the normal type is secondary, because it's a ghost. It's just a normal ghost. It's based off of the eastern elk, which did live in Wisconsin, and it went extinct around like the 1800s. And so yeah, I had ghostly aura on it, made skulls and everything, and its hooves are invisible because it's a ghost. So it kind of just looks like it floats, and really it just walks around like normal. And yeah, this is exclusive to Pokemon Loss also. And Plesty at $10. Long name, ground dragon type, based off of the prairie skink and the slender glass lizard. It has the orange chin of the prairie skink, and the tail is a different because every time a slender glass lizard's tail breaks, because they do that, it can regrow, but it'll look different. And it's not super contrasting different like this guy is, but it's like slightly different. Its name, Plesty, I don't remember it exactly, but its name comes from bits of the prairie skink and slender glass lizard's scientific name. So, yeah. This one's exclusive to Pokemon Victory. And here's some new Pokemon that I made a while back because I forgot about the Fire Fairy unused type combo and was going to include it in it. And yeah, it's based off of the Aggro Pelter. Meet Peltic and Infernagrow. Peltic is named from Aggro Pelter and Tyke, like a tiny kid. It actually it walks around and picks up stuff and plays catch with it. And then the evolution, Infernagrow, the name Inferno, and Aggro from Aggro Pelter. Yeah. It's bigger. Its chest kind of resembles a matchbox because it takes the stick that was in its hair when it was younger. It can use it as a match, and it lights rocks and sticks on fire, so it can throw it at its opponent. But why fairy type, you ask? Because it uses its magic to sense if you're like a good soul, and if you are good, it won't throw stuff at you. And also because the unused type combo. But listen, also it's a mythical creature. I'm allowed to use this. Next up is Bert 12. Bert 12. I love this guy. He's amazing. He's multiple inspirations. He's based off of the burlocks, or more commonly known as burrs. They're like little plant seeds that hook onto people's clothes. Yeah. The reason why he's based off of those is, well, because we have them here in Wisconsin, but also, he's also based off of the ghostly sighting of the Highway 12 hitchhiker, and burrs are kind of like the hitchhikers of plants, so I made him, got this, like, thumbs out, like he's hitchhiking pose, and he's got, like, a little stick with the ghostly plasma coming out of it from his mouth, kind of resembling, like, a cigarette or something like that. I think that's cool. Yeah. The name comes from Burr, like Burlock, 12, like from the Highway 12, and then Bert, which just sounds like a name that you would give this guy. Bert 12. Yeah. Meet Smolanchi and Honchokoot. These guys got some good inspiration behind them. Yeah, these are based off of the Haunchyville stories. And, yeah. Smolanchi is based off of the little, the little dwarves that the story says, where it's like the city of dwarves go off and live with, like, they go off and live in the forest. And Honchokoot is based off of the old man that apparently protects them. And, yeah, the tail on the evolution is a double barrel shotgun. And on the first evolution, it doesn't do anything yet. It's because all the pictures and stories that I've done research for, it all shows that the old man carries around a shotgun, protecting the entrance to Haunchyville. And in the Pokemon world, large groups of Smolanchi travel around and live together to protect each other. And one Honchokoot kind of guards the entire thing. So yeah, that's what that is. Next up, we have Lobrero and Hodagger. Okay, these guys are cryptids. I've done a lot of cryptid research because there's a lot of cryptid-related stuff. Anyway, Lobrero. It's a dark type. It's kind of based off of multiple things. It's based off of werewolves with, like, the ripped clothes and stuff like that. And it's also based off of the Beast of Bray Road, which is basically, it's literally is called the Wisconsin werewolf. It's a real thing. It's like a mythical creature, and it's like a wolf-like human werewolf. That's like the gist of it. So I made him a dark type because he is at night, and yeah, that's kind of the basics of Lobrero. Oh, and its name comes from Lobo, which is Spanish for wolf, and Bray Road, Bray Row. Hodagger, on the other side, he is my fur bait for the region. I had to make one, and this is the best thing I could think of. He's based off of the Rhinelander Hodag, a mythic creature that is the mascot. It's a cryptid also, but it's based off of... Well, yeah, the Hodag is a creature that is made up, but people thought it was real for a while because it was hunted by this one guy who told everyone about it, and then he told it was fake. But doesn't matter. An entire city up in North Wisconsin called the Rhinelander, they basically use the Hodag as like their mascot. Well, anyway, this guy, he's Hodagger from Hodag and Dagger. His claws and horns are sharp, and teeth are as sharp as knives, and ancient people would use them as weapons. Ancient people of the Sconsin region, after Ojibwar was banished because of the story stuff that I'll explain in the story video in the future. Okay. Also, normal dragon because it just gives me dragon vibes. Okay, he just gives me like dragon beast vibes. Anyway, moving on. And last design of the video, we have Cyringo. He is my only fossil Pokemon. I couldn't design more because I ran out of inspiration. Rock fighting. He comes from the coral fossil, because there are coral fossils that have been found in Wisconsin. I can't do a trilobite because, well, I could do a trilobite, but Kabuto is kind of already like that, so we could just, yeah. I can't really do that. But anyway, Cyringo is, yeah, he's kind of like a revived coral fossil, but then turned into a warrior. He gives crazy karate chops and has coral that kind of resembles like a rib cage. Rock fighting type, explains. And its name is just that I just took a tiny bit out of the full name for some of the actual coral fossils, like the official names. Anyway, okay. That is the final design I have for you guys today. Hold on, let me like finish everything up. So that's all the designs I have for you guys today. I am currently working on a more regional variants video because I have a decent amount of those made, and I want to show them off, but it wouldn't make sense if I just showed off a couple of them in here because I'm still working on some. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this Pokemon Lost and Pokemon Victory Sconsin region video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the future. Farewell.